Hi, it's Dr. Nadia, founder of the Doyenne Agency and creator of Straight Talk About Sales with Dr. Nadia. Today, I wanted to talk about some recent changes that have been going on in my business and really sharing those with my community. So, for the past 6 or 7 years, my regular newsletter was called A Pop of Pink. There was a lot around being a pop of pink. And just really playing off of that story that was shared, that it was an experience that I'd had while at a speaking event back in 2013. And at this particular conference, it was a professional women's conference, and as part of that conference, there was a job fair. And of course, a lot of times in corporate and at job fairs, you typically will wear black, navy blue, gray, maybe some shades of brown, like very dark colors. Well, as a speaker, I wasn't there looking for a job. And so I chose to wear a beautiful fuchsia blazer. So I still had on a black skirt. So there was some levels of conformity. I wore a suit, I wore a nice blazer, but there was that pop of pink. And as a result of that, some of the feedback I received by attending this conference was that I was a pop of pink in a sea of navy blue. And it was one of those things that just popped out, and it stuck and it resonated. And when I shared it with the mastermind group that I was a part of at that time, they were like, oh my gosh, Dr. Nadia, you have to use that. So not only did I incorporate that in my story, but it became a signature part of my brand and my business. And then my newsletter, like I mentioned, became a pop of pink. And it was just, all of this. It was lots of different plays on that. I remember going to different networking events, particularly here in Phoenix. And people will be like, oh my gosh, are you part of Dr. Nadia's community? Do you get her regular newsletter? Because I love that I get a pop of pink in my inbox on Fridays. So, there were all these really cool things and this synchronicity that has been going on for many years. Well, recently, there's been a pivot here at Doyenne in terms of we're not just focused on women in leadership. They definitely have taken on a lot in terms of supporting women entrepreneurs and business owners. And in one particular area, outside of just leadership, because we definitely obviously talk about leadership, is sales. And helping businesses improve their sales, increase their sales, build their sales teams, all of that in terms of all the different services that we now provide under the agency. So there have been some changes, some pivots. I've talked about it, lots of things. But one of the more recent changes has been that a pop of pink is going away. And I know that there are people in my community that aren't quite as privy to what a pop of pink has meant, what that has looked like. And so I really just wanted to take a minute to acknowledge that, acknowledge the growth and the evolution of the Doyenne brand. We're really excited about that. I'm really excited about it. And I'm going through my processes. There are certain things that have been really near and dear to my heart. And it's just been like, okay, as I talk with my counsel and my team, as we roll these different things out and we make these different changes as the company continues to evolve and grow. So, I wanted to make that overall quite quote unquote announcement as you see these different changes taking place. But another thing I just wanted to share, one of the things that I did was I made a big change, a big decision last year. And, really pursuing to see if the sales agency idea would work, because honestly, I had a lot of fear around it. And there were parts of me that were just like, this isn't going to work. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen before in terms of, people that were around me and what they were doing. And I felt a little odd and being different. But I felt like, what? You really should just go after it and see what happens. So I wanted to share a few lessons that I've learned over the past, just a little over a year, not quite a year and a half yet, that we have been officially this, and we're doing a lot of things behind the scenes from a legal and all those standpoints, right? But it all, begins with a decision. So it was when I stopped waffling and stopped trying to keep it a secret, that, what, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to go for it and see what happens. that a lot of things started to really fall into place. And the first thing that I learned was that it takes courage. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was easy, that there were days where I was like, I don't know if I made the right decision. You know, there were lots of big things that just basically coming into my business as it was. And it was like, you don't need to do that anymore. Like, there were a lot of those things. And so over the past year or so, while there's been a lot of things that have happened that are very exciting, there have also been moments of grief. And not grief from like I'm sad in terms of like there was a death or something necessarily bad happened, but grief around, my business doesn't look the way it used to look. I don't do things the way I used to do them. There was a bit of my identity, honestly, tied into the way it always been. And now there was that period of, who the heck am I in this shift? And I share that because, as we continue to grow and evolve as individuals, our businesses grow and evolve. There's so many changes, whether those changes are evolution or dictated by shifts in the marketplace, but a lot of times they're just shifts in us and who we are and the skill sets that we have and the things that we have to bring to the table. But that doesn't mean that there's a part of you that may go through a bit of an identity crisis, or you just might feel sad for some of the shifts that you're making, not because it's bad, but just because there's that moment of, I don't know how I really feel about this, or I really like that. Like, there are things that I no longer do that I honestly liked to do and I enjoyed, and I may do some of them, but it looks a little different. And so just really acknowledging that it takes a lot of courage to be willing to do that, especially when you necessarily have a quote unquote blueprint of what that should look like. You're just kind of like, I'm just going to go. We have a framework. We're going to see if what we put together will actually work, and be willing to tweak and adjust it along the way. The second thing that I learned was strive to fail fast. So I feel that one of the things that has really helped us to make this shift and to make it quick and to see the type of results we've been able to see over the past year or so is that I just took on the attitude, try it, and if it doesn't work, we'll learn the lesson and tweak it. And that is a very different type of person from where I was when I started my business. I was so afraid of making a mistake. I was so afraid of the big fat F word, failure, that there was a lot of fear and trepidation around taking risks and doing things. And that doesn't mean be really, really with all your risk, right? Definitely think that through. But I took on the attitude of, we won't know till we try. And that's because there were so many unknowns, we really won't know till we try. So, really just strive to fail faster. The faster you can do that. I had a coach that told me that years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh. At first I thought she was nuts. It's like, wow, on earth do I want to fail? But then I realized that I've learned a lot through my failures. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now if I had not had a big, fat, detrimental failure around sales and around building my business and around, having those conversations and generating revenue. And because I was such a hot flaming mess, and I overcame that through the failure, this is why I do what I do and why I'm so passionate about it, because I now know that other business owners don't have to go through that process, because we can help them. So don't be afraid of failure. Let me tell you, we have made a bunch of mistakes, but there's also been a lot of rich information and feedback, which has allowed us to make those shifts and adjustments to get to where we are right now, and to really help our clients achieve some amazing results. And then the final thing I would share, point number 3 or lesson number 3, is get the right support. A lot of times, and I know I have been so guilty of this, of wanting to go at it alone. And thinking that, I'm just going to try this and get, out there and I'll figure it out because I'm a smart person. Yeah, you can, but it also helps to get the right support to support you through the process, to provide advice, insight, wise counsel. And, and so while I believe in business coaches, I love having a business coach, but this time I did something a little different. So instead of hiring a business coach, I actually hired what I call my counsel. And it's not just one person, it was a group. So I have a team of counsel where we talk about this and we meet on a regular basis, and we're constantly looking at what's working, what's not working, what's getting in the way, everything from my mindset to market trends and, everything like that. And that has been phenomenal and really a key piece to this shift in how it works and having it be successful. So you really want to take the time to think about what is the right support for me in this season. I don't know how long the council and I will work together, but we know that, as seasons change, we'll have that conversation to see what the right support will look like on the next leg of the journey. So taking the time to get the right support and making the investment, like this isn't free support, it's an investment. But it has been a very wise investment, and I'm definitely seeing the return on that investment. And I'm thankful for it. So, really taking a moment to look at what that looks like and what's best for you in this season on this next leg of your journey. So again, a puff of pink. I don't know. I'm dealing with it. The team and I are talking about it, but I felt that, this was a time for me to just share from my heart what this journey has been like. As we're making these adjustments with the team, growing a team again, going through that process, our branding is shifting, the messaging is shifting, the legal stuff, like there's a lot going on behind the scenes that people really don't see. And so there are those moments when I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exciting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, things are changing, So it's been a really cool journey. But I wanted to let, the community know and just share, this is what's going on. So you'll see that A Pop of Pink is now a Straight Talk About Sales. We still plan to have weekly updates and communications. We're also going to be doing some things offline. So you'll start to hear about how you can be a part of that if you want to be a part of that and get those updates and insights and all that kind of cool stuff. So we're growing, we're evolving. I'm really excited. I have my moments of freaking out. I have my moments of running around the house screaming with joy and glee. So there's all of that. So just wanted to pop in and share that. Key lessons, though, through the pivot have been having the courage to take the chance once you've made that decision. The second thing is strive. Make it your business to fail fast. The faster you fail, the faster you learn the lesson and you can make the adjustment and move forward. And number 3 is definitely get the right support. This is Dr. Nadia with another episode of Straight Talk About Sales. Signing off. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.